How does a team end up having to pay out the biggest fine in esports history? How did a Chinese League of Legends team end up paying $500,000 last week? Well, it all started because allegedly their jungler participated in match fixing. Why? Well, apparently it all began with a pretty bad poker debt. Alright, let's work backwards for a bit. On March 27th, the LPL announced that Rogue Warriors jungler Wei Yan was banned from League of Legends for 2 years. Why? Short answer, he got involved in a shady match-fixing scheme. Long answer, he had a really bad gambling debt and he broke a few important League of Legends rules. The first is section 11.2.17 of the LPL rulebook, which bans all players from attempting to propose, agree, plan, or attempt to influence the game or the result of the game by any means prohibited by the law or this rule. Basically, no match fixing, no talking about match fixing, no thinking about match fixing. The other rule that Wei Yan broke is a little bit simpler. Section 11.3.1 says, no team member or official of the LPL may directly or indirectly participate in any betting or gambling related to the results of the League of Legends Global Championship or the Global Tournament. So the rules say no match fixing, no gambling. And while the LPL's tweet didn't actually say exactly what Wei Yan did, it wasn't hard to figure out based on the rules he broke. If he broke the rules for match fixing and gambling, he probably participated in match fixing and gambling. On top of his ban, Wei Yan is also banned from streaming League, and his team, Rogue Warriors, have been fined 3 million yuan, which is around $420,000, which I think is the highest fine an esports team has ever received. For comparison, Riot fined Cloud9 $175,000 for giving their players ownership stock in the organization. Griffin was only fined $80,000 for giving Kanavi an illegal contract, and Team Impulse was fined $20,000 for not paying their players on time. So nearly $500,000 is a lot. And according to a tweet from the LPL, Rogue Warriors actually came to the LPL disciplinary committee themselves with information about Wei Yan's alleged match fixing. Presumably they wanted the league to know that they weren't involved in this whole mess, but Rogue Warriors got fined anyway. Because according to the LPL, team management is responsible for making sure that everybody on the team upholds the rules of the league, even if management wasn't involved. So at this point, you're probably asking yourself, what the fuck did this kid actually do? 1, how do you actually fix a match in a game where there are 4 other people on your team who don't know about your attempt to either throw or mess with your stat line? And 2, why does a player who plays for a team owned by Asus need money from match fixing? Well, it turns out that Wei Yan didn't match fix, or at least he says he didn't match fix. In a Weibo post that has since been deleted and was translated by Inven Global, Wei Yan said this all started because of a pretty bad poker debt. Allegedly, Wei Yan got really into playing poker with his buddies, and he lost. A lot. So he needed to borrow some money, and at some point, he borrowed cash from a, quote, certain individual, end quote. Whoever our mystery loan shark was, they gave Wei Yan the money he needed, but eventually they came back and asked Wei Yan to fix a couple matches for them. According to Inven Global's translation, Wei Yan said he actually agreed to the match fixing at first, but eventually changed his mind and didn't go through with it. Wei Yan says he didn't take any money and he didn't throw any matches, but he accepts his punishment and says it's right for him to have been taken off the team. Meanwhile, according to ESPN, there is allegedly an anonymous Weibo post floating around that shows Wei Yan talking about fixing matches against Dominus Esports and Victory 5. Rogue Warriors did actually play against Victory 5 and they beat them 2-0, but it's unclear if anything was actually fixed in that match. And on top of that, we don't actually know what Wei Yan was asked to fix. Was he asked to throw a game? Was he asked to get a specific scoreline? There's a lot of things you can gamble on in League, and unfortunately, we have no idea what he was asked to do. All we can say for sure is that Wei Yan was asked to match fix because of some weird loan shark and a crazy poker debt he had. Now, Rogue Warriors aren't exactly the best team in the league. Even before Wei Yan was taken off the team, they were 3-5, and right now they're 3-6. 14th out of 17 teams in the league. It's hard to imagine that they were going to accomplish very much against the top teams even before all this. And now they're out a jungler and nearly $500,000, but Wei Yan's career is basically over. Look, match fixing is basically the cardinal sin of esports. It's up there with cheating as a thing you never ever do, because if you get caught, you're done. Esports does have an unfortunate dark history of match fixing. There were StarCraft pros in Korea who were found guilty of being part of vast match fixing rings, and some of them went to jail. Meanwhile, here in NA, we had the iBuyPower scandal in CSGO, which saw 4 players get permanently banned from all Valve-sanctioned events. It essentially killed their careers on the spot. So getting banned for 2 years sounds like a long time, but that's what happens in esports. Even if Wei Yan didn't pull it off, match fixing is the ultimate crime. So I had to move like I guess I didn't move this gamepad or these Persona tarot cards up there. That's probably the nerdiest thing I own, because I don't know how to fucking use tarot cards. I pre-ordered both Persona 4 Ultimax, the fighting game, or Persona 4 Arena Ultimax, and Persona Q, the DS RPG. I pre-ordered them both. I could have not pre-ordered them, but I paid extra to pre-order them, so I got these sick tarot cards that I have no idea what the fuck to do with. If anyone knows how to read tarot that can teach me to use these oversized piece of shit cards, let me know.